Look, there's the builder. Come join us. Mia needs your help.
Well, you know how I've been helping out at the moisture farm. But with the greenification of Sandrock almost complete, I'm going to have more free time. So, I was thinking, maybe it's time for me to start something of my own. I want to settle down in Sandrock, just like you have. But I'm still not sure what that something. Mian told me to follow my dreams and do what my heart desires. You know, I've always had a passion for tending to various plants in the garden since I was a kid. So... that's an interesting idea, but it might take time. Ooh, I could open a shop! But what would I sell? Gardening tools?
That's perfect. And you could also sell flowers. You know, I've always wanted to be a shop owner too. When I was a kid, I used to dream of opening a bakery or a florist shop. Funny how life turned out. I became a builder like the rest of my family. While I might not be skilled at growing plants, I love having them to decorate my house. I'm sure there are more people like me in Sandrock, and we don't have a store catering to that yet. So I think that's a brilliant idea.
I see. Selling flowers makes sense. It's easier than dealing with just gardening tools, which I have to import and find storage space for. But with flowers, I can grow them myself. Perhaps Zeke would even let me use a plot in his moisture farm. But how can I afford to rent a shop? I know I could ask my family for support as a last resort, but I'd prefer to figure it out on my own. Really? Really, really? You're the best! I'll happily accept it. But don't fret. I'll pay you back once the profits roll in. Now, let's think about the location. The main street doesn't have much space for a new shop. And if we set up too far from the town center, it might be inconvenient for people, especially if they want to buy those heavy gardening tools.
I have a balcony in front of my workshop that's currently free to use, but it's not big enough for a whole shop.
What if we just set up a flower display rack there?
Ah, a display rack with a canopy. That sounds about right. It'll look lovely on my balcony and provide some extra shopping space. By the way, I still have some extra funds left after donating to the Sandrock School. So I thought you could have it. You know, it's like an investment.
Thank you. But what the builder has offered is more than enough.
But it's just that I'd really love to be a part of this. I mean, I told you I dreamed of opening a shop when I was a kid, and I wasn't joking. I just never got the chance. That's why I want to invest in the business. I thought you could use some extra goals to order different flowers from other places and attract more customers. And I could help you with whatever you need help with. I kind of wish to run the business with you. Is that a possibility?
Ah, I see. Of course. I'd love to be business partners with you, Mian. It would be a dream come true for both of us.
Really? Thank you so much, Nia. Just tell me what you need me to do. While I may not be an expert in planting, I'll try my best. I'll even ask Zeke to teach me some techniques.
That's all right. We'll figure out the planting part together. First, let's come up with a name for our business. Even if it's just a few racks, it's our special place. Any ideas? I thought so too. I want the name to represent both of us in some way.
But Mian, they don't sound very catchy.
How about we put your name first? We could call it Minnie, because it's small and cute. Plus, people will immediately know it belongs to you and me.
That's brilliant! I love it! How about Mini Botanica? It reflects that we sell not only flowers, but also plants and everything related to gardening.
It's settled then. Let's name it Mini Botanica. We have a name and a location. Now I need to prepare some flowers for sale. And of course, the flower display rack. Anything you can help with?
Oh, that would be so special. You two grew up together, and now you're literally helping Nia build her business. I'll help with growing the flowers. I'm not an expert, but I'll do whatever Nia asks me to do.
Don't worry, you'll get the hang of it in no time. Okay, I'll design a recipe for the display rack.
And I'll ask around and see what people want to buy from our shop and then get the flower seeds.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks for your help. We'll send you what you need tomorrow.
Goodbye. See you soon.
Darling, you're here. I knew you'd remember. I've already finished designs for 2 collections. I'll give you a sneak preview. I designed 2 sets of clothing, some formal wear and swimwear. I've made more than 10 sets for each design. You really are so wonderful. The scene, a rapidly changing Sandrock. Blooming flowers, celebrations all around, the people, still dressed in their boring clothes. We need some aesthetics. We lack diversity. We need a breath of new, fashionable air. And then, here we are, with the lush trees, the flowing water, and the longing for a long dip. So light bulb moment, swimsuits. I never thought this day would come, but I finally think the time is right. I am going to put these on the catwalk. Yes, a fashion show. As I was drawing them, I could picture it. The lights, the gasping faces, the stunning designs, and me at the back, needling the final touches on a hypnotizing piece. It will be a 2-day affair, each day focusing on one series. This was, I am hesitant to admit, in fact Trudy's idea. She was more than supportive and believed one day to simply be too short. Now, what else is needed? First of all, clothing production. I am but the designer. I do not possess the skill to create these magnificent pieces. Ha! I can see your expression. No, I do not need you to make them. I have already asked Vivi, and she has agreed to work with me. Now, the issue of the venue. Trudy believes that the show could bring in tourists and offered to host it outside the city hall. But the construction of the stage will be your piece de resistance. With Trudy's support, honestly, this has grown bigger than I could have imagined. I even have my models, and they love the designs. Heidi's already made a diagram for you. You just need to make it and give it to me. That's not a problem, right? You're quite the go-getter, aren't you? It's positively charming. Well, I just have to prepare the clothes, organize the order of the show, then, when you have built the stage, please give it to me. Believe me, Sandrock will soon be the cosmopolitan hub of the Free Cities.
I've been in contact with the Alliance Council, and I just can't in good faith recommend anything other than the full extent of the law. Transfer to the Atara Maximum Security Prison. You betrayed us, and have shown no sign of remorse. I will contact the authorities and organize the transport.
I accept all punishment, Trudy, and will abide accordingly.
Then, I will keep you informed of the date of your departure. I just can't understand it. Why?
It's no excuse, but I did what I believed was right.
But this town, everyone living here, after all you did for us, everything you said in your sermons, you kept us safe, your guidance. I even trusted you to teach my daughter. I thought you cared.
I truly do.
Please, don't give me that.
No. I was not used. I was betrayed. My actions were my own, and I am no one's puppet. I will face all the consequences with dignity.
Well, thank you for your cooperation.
You said that the water was a cover for their true intentions. I have been taken for a fool. This I realize now more than ever. I truly thought Duvos wanted the same thing as me, that they were on the right side of history. Recently, I have been grasping at something, anything, that would validate my actions since I have been in Sandrock. The more I searched, the more I came to only one truth. There was nothing. My handlers were simply telling me what they wanted me to believe. I must have been simply a diversion. If I could have pushed everyone out of Sandrock, and Duvos could excavate the ruins in secrecy, my arrest threw a proverbial wrench into the works, and it appears to have pushed their hand. I was then left to rot. They never cared about me. They never cared about my ideals. When I was of age, I left to study in Madi. My family were believers in the light, and I dreamed of spreading the word. I always feared the day of Calamity. Feared the light being extinguished once more. I quickly befriended Matilda. She was older than me, working as a tutor in the guided study sessions. I remember when I first met her, when I attended her session the first time. She was helping a group of students with their questions on faith. She was kind, understanding. Whenever I disagreed with the doctrine of the church, she listened. Later, I started to feel that the teachings were not enough. I did not suspect Matilda to be anything other than a devout follower of the light. Her allegiance was as much of a surprise to me as to you. Her study group set her apart from the other tutors. She was loved, particularly by the staff. Somewhat of a teacher's pet. She was bright-eyed and optimistic. A perfect cover in retrospect. Her views stood opposed to mine. I am somewhat more pessimistic about human nature. Allowing humans freedom to pursue their vanities is what led to the day of Calamity. Those around me in the church did not take the teaching seriously. Even the deacon. It was as if they had forgotten the sins of our forefathers. During my studies, I became depressed. I drifted further from the teachings, became isolated, and found myself more radical. Then, an agent from Duvos made contact. And the things they told me, that Duvos would regulate technology. Everything I heard aligned with my beliefs. They wanted structure. They wanted to ensure no one else ever lost their lives. They wanted to ensure the safety of humanity. I see now in retrospect, Matilda used my grief against me. She was conditioning me. She must have told an agent of my wavering faith and guided their hand from the background. While I was studying in Madi, my town was destroyed. I'm from Das. I'm a child of the lost city. Our existence was always a delicate balance. Being a town skirting the border of the peripheries, we were aware of the dangers, but largely went unbothered. As I went to study in Madi, I bid my hometown farewell, though kept in regular contact. It may surprise you that I took part in many of the onboarding activities and was a strong advocate for the church school. It seems strange to reflect on that now. During my studies, Das was attacked by a creature from the peripheries. It happened overnight, without warning. Everyone in town was killed. My parents. My brother. You cannot imagine it. My entire town destroyed by a monster in the blink of an eye. Just thinking about what my people went through. It is truly harrowing. When the news was announced at school, I felt everyone's eyes on me. They were fixed, filled with an empty pity. Where were the Rangers or the Civil Corps? How did we not see it coming? How could the Alliance let this happen? The questions burned into my mind. I sought answers, but people avoided me. Within a week, people were laughing again, enjoying themselves. They'd all forgotten already. Countless lives lost, yet they returned to their lives again as if nothing had happened. Everyone simply avoided me further, except for Matilda. She listened. I fell into the darkness. I sunk into the questions that were burning on my tongue. How could the Alliance let this happen? How are we allowing the sins of our forefathers leave us in ruin? How could the Free City simply abandon us? I expected a rescue. I expected the Rangers to search and destroy that monster from the peripheries, but no. They saw it as a lost cause and moved on. My family were not even buried. They were left there for the wilds to consume. It was then that my heart was blackened to the Alliance, that my thoughts started to drift. I was vulnerable. I was lost. I was found by Matilda and led astray. She would encourage me to think independently, to question myself. She said my fears were valid, that I was a fiercely independent thinker. And while she did not agree with me, she valued my beliefs. I now believe she was taking note of my doubts, and behind closed doors crafting a narrative that reciprocated my beliefs. A narrative she then passed on to handlers. It was no mere coincidence that I was sold a beautiful vision of Duvos. I should have seen this sooner. But I was blinded by their words. It answered all of my questions. It appears so. All that I took for Duvos ideals were simply my own being reflected back to me. In that light, what I have done to Sandrock is it is only now that the blinds have been pulled back. I must face my actions head on. I still believe that we as a species need to control our desires to pursue unfettered technology. Loss must not happen again. However, that does not excuse what I did. I have wronged the people of this town and the Free Cities. I must accept penance for my actions. I must take this as a time for personal growth. Thank you for coming to see me on this time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sand running dates back to the earliest days of the Eufaula. The boards have you whizzing across the sand, the sound of the wind.